All right, everyone. I am Marwan Cameron. This is The Conduit, and you know what? It is 2023. Got to be excited about that, right? I am Marwan Cameron. Let's make sure we're looking good. All right, horns going. Everything looks like it's going. Man, I can't think of a better way to start off the new year than with the Kitsap Regional Library, which is so fantastic and awesome. And our favorite adult librarian, Priya Chari, is here with us again. So let's give her a round of applause and bring her on in. Priya, how are you doing?
I am doing well. I've got my coffee in hand. I'm at work on the right day, and I know that it's Tuesday, not Monday today. I always get a little like topsy-turvy after the new year where I'm like, what year is it? What day is it? So we're here. We're
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you know what? We've got a really special show today. We're going to go over our normal stuff like we normally do, but then we're going to kick it up a notch and make it a little bit spicy since it's the beginning of 2023. So why don't we start with what's new with the Kitsap Regional Library for January?
Yeah. So we'll start with something that isn't new, which is that every month we get a new Inspire for the month. So we have January's Inspire in all of our library branches. You can walk in and pick it up or find it on our website, krml.org. And so this includes all of our programs, events, services, new things you need to know for the coming month. So you see up top here, our highlight for this month is chapter book read-alongs for kids, which is awesome. It's just an additional tool to help kiddos feel engaged with reading so that they can listen to it while they're reading it on the page. Fantastic stuff. Love to see it. Some programs that are coming up that you might want to participate in coming up this week in the Bremerton area, because that's where I am. We have Story Night, which is at the Cloverleaf Sports Bar and Grill in East Bremerton. That is on Thursday the 5th at 7 p.m. And the theme for this program is Stuck. So if you are interested in telling a short story of something that happened to you in your life relating to the theme or word of stuck, please do come and share it. Super open-ended. If you just want to come and listen to, it's all good. Really good stories, really good storytellers. What else do we have going on? We have Enlighten Kitsap Community Forum coming up on January 20th. We're going to have a speaker come talk about sustainability, environmentalism from a global perspective. It's going to be really cool. That's at 6:30 p.m. virtual and in person. So we've got hybrid going on for that. We've got a program here at the Downtown Bremerton Library about teacup succulents next Saturday, January 14th at noon. So that's where you get to plant a little succulent, like a cactus or an aloe or something, in a teacup. So you can take it home with you. It's just a cute little thing. And those plants are hard to kill. So if you, like me, don't have the greenest of thumbs, it is still really cool to try gardening out.
That sounds like what I need.
Yeah. I'm not the best with like remembering to water plants, but succulents don't even want that much water in the first place. So good place to start. We get to plant a little thing, come out, hang out and chat with me on a Saturday at noon. So that'll be next weekend, the 14th. It is never too early to start thinking about taxes. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to bring it up, but the library has a partnership with AARP Tax Aid volunteers who will be present at some of our branches as we get closer and closer to tax time. So the first dates begin in January on the 24th at the Paulsville location. So you might have to travel a little bit, but it is a really useful tool if you would need some assistance with AARP tax aides who will come to the branch and help you work through your materials. And I believe more branches will be offering it in February and March. And I will also say, if you see it's listed as AARP tax aid, you can check our website. The library staff, unfortunately, cannot help you with your taxes because we're not tax experts. We have our own taxes to do. So if you do want some assistance filling out your taxes, definitely take advantage of these AARP tax aids. If you need help just getting forms, we'll have those for you, so we can help with that. And then lastly, on the grown-up side, we've got some book groups coming up this month. In the Bremerton area, we've got the Sylvan Way book group where they're discussing The Bear by Andrew Krivak. That is on January 14th at 10 in person at Sylvan Way. We've got Sylvan Way Nonfiction Book Group, which will be discussing Blue Sky Kingdom, an epic family journey to the heart of the Himalayas by Bruce Kirkby. That is Tuesday the 17th at 10 a.m., also in person at Sylvan. We've got our Downtown Bremerton Book Group right here, which is on January the 23rd at 5 p.m., which is virtual and in person. And the theme for this month is Quick Lit. Read a book under 200 pages. We don't care what kind of book, just read a book under 200 pages. And it'll fly by. So if you need recommendations, feel free to reach out. For short books, my recommendation is always poetry, because they look so skinny, but they give you so much to think about. So that's
are there going to be stickers or something
at our book group, or
if you read 200 pages?
Oh, not like summer learning stickers, but we do just usually have stickers in the branch. I can happily give you one. But it's a great place to get recommendations and share recommendations. And especially since I know the holidays are a really busy time for a lot of people, we know you might not have had time to sit down and read a full novel. So something shorter, like a novella, short story collection, poetry, what have you, is all good stuff. And then I'll just highlight really quickly some programs coming up for kiddos. We have Lego Club, which meets on the first Wednesdays here at Downtown Bremerton at 4 p.m. and second and fourth Wednesdays at 2 p.m. at Sylvan Way. So if you're in the Bremerton area, you've got a few opportunities for your kiddos to come play with some Legos. It is so fun, but unfortunately it's just for kids. So hopefully we'll get an adult version going up soon. We've also, what else do we have going on? We've got a program on Saturday, the 28th at 11 a.m. here at Downtown Bremerton called Here Comes the Sun, where you get to decorate a sun catcher, thing you hang in your window that catches the sunlight and refracts it into different colors, to brighten up the gloomy winter days. So that is all ages of kiddos on the 28th, 11 a.m. And then I won't read every single one of them, but as you know, we have our list of story times. So if you have kids from age babies, like fresh babies, up through like age 5 or so, early elementary, feel free to bring them by to any of our story times. We've got them at every branch, different days and times of the week. They're all listed in our Inspire and on our website. And then lastly, it'll be helpful to get one of these because we have some hours that have changed in the past couple months. So it's good to have a new updated reminder that we are open a little bit later now on most days. So that's everything. Yeah, that's everything going on in January. And all of that is on our website, krl.org, under the calendar section. You can also search for keywords like, I remember Priya said suncatcher, but I can't remember why. And so you can go on our website, search for suncatcher, and the program will come up.
You know, I never heard of a sun catcher. I heard of a dream catcher.
Yeah, a sun catcher. It's a really lovely little thing. Like I've seen them like basically they're like little stained glass windows. You know how like stained glass windows will just take the sunlight that comes in and just turn it into a beautiful color. Sun catchers are like that, except you can hang them, so they can even go like, you know, don't have to go in front of a window, just somewhere where it gets some sunlight, so the colors will glow. But it'll be good fun. Yeah.
Maybe that would be not good to put in my rearview mirror. So my dream catcher hangs there, which is kind of strange, but that's where it is.
You know, whatever makes you feel most, you know, secure and confident while you're driving, but as long as it's not a distraction for you.
No, you know, it's been there for years. It was a gift, and most times
nice.
I forget it's there. So, yeah, I don't know why it's there. So strange.
That's okay. It's your car. You know, I feel like cars have personalities like the people who drive them, and it's just really fun to like see like, oh, that is a Marwan car. That is a Priya car. Like, yeah.
Well, that is quite the segue into
right?
what we're going to get into. I see what you did there.
Yes. So last month, Marwan, you had asked me if I could look into sharing about our auto repair databases. We, as a library system, subscribe to 2 of them, which are always available on our website, and I will walk you through how to get there. Let me share my screen right quick. Okay. Right. Are you seeing our homepage?
I am. Let me just go ahead and click it in there. Perfect.
Beautiful. Okay. So you will find our auto repair databases, same place you'll find all of our other databases, which is under the research tab right here. And you see that we have a few categories pulled out already. The first of which is auto repair because it's alphabetical, A for auto. But if you click into research itself, you'll see the full long list of it. There are two I want to pull out, so I'm just going to go and click on auto repair here, and we will highlight them. So we've got subject auto repair, we have all data repair, and we have Chilton Library. And you can see a little description of each of these. For all data, you can learn about your car with diagnostic and repair information, quote out new vehicle work, or call the all data repair hotline for direct technician support. I have not tried this yet, but like what a blessing, right? To not have to like call down to your local mechanic and then wait because I don't have an appointment and all that. So with all data, you can see it says in red, please note, access only available within the library. So you do need to be either on a library computer or on the library Wi-Fi to access this specific database. Is just one of the terms of their subscription. I'm on the library Wi-Fi right now on my laptop, so I have access to it. The second one here is Chilton Library. It is vehicle troubleshooting with step-by-step procedures for vehicle maintenance and repair. Both of these you search by year, make, and model to find your specific car. I wouldn't say that one's better than the other, and I will cover all of this with the most big caveat that I'm not a car person. I'm telling Marwan, I'm not a car person, so I will show you how to get there, poke around here, and then these are the places where you sort of get the vocabulary to go out and do further research if you need to, or get the vocabulary to then call your mechanic and say, hey, I know what's wrong with my car. So if you are a particularly handy person and you are comfortable poking around in your car and you've got the tools for it, this will be both of these will be a fantastic resource. If you are not, poke around in there, just, get a sense of the vocab that goes along with the car that you drive, and you'll learn something new. So I'm coming from a place of learning with this too, but we'll go into each one very briefly, just so we can see what they look like and how it works. Let's start with all data. I will open this up in a new tab here.
I like it.
Beautiful.
Pressure's on. Here we go.
I know. Okay. And so it'll bring you to this little landing page. It says Kitsap Regional Library. Welcome, Kitsap Regional Library. So you are on the right database with the right subscription. Good to go. You can scroll down a little bit to see what all they have available. Just getting that up there. And you can see that they actually have a link to the all data repair hotline right down here. So just keep in mind that's on the homepage there. But
that's super cool.
Yeah, I think they probably have a good sense that like the people on this database using it like need help. So having it front and center is a really useful thing to have. I will just direct us here to the repair section. Community is where you sort of like, poke around and see what other people are exploring. But I will say start with repair. We'll click on that little tile there. Okay, and it brings us to the page here. So we have access to all data, find a fix. It is a super useful thing. Again, I'm not a car person, so feel free to explore that. That's just a little pop-up message that comes up. So here's where we're going to start. We are going to figure out what car we're working with, and then it will bring us to basically all of the user manual, diagrams, need to know information for that specific car. And that's where we're going to poke around. So you can see recent vehicles I have searched for Marwan's car. So let's do that again. We will go to 2006.
And while Priya is doing that, we're going to be working on the struts for my trunk, because the trunk does not stay up on its own anymore. And it's a hazard. It actually hit me in the head today. And so it does need to be changed. It's definitely a safety thing. And, sometimes I have my daughter get something out of the trunk and, I don't want to get her head slammed or her fingers. So we definitely need to be careful. And that trunk is heavy. It hurts. And, one of the things I should have done before was call an auto repair company and just see what the quote was on this. But I went on to Amazon and I purchased the struts for $15.89. So hopefully we can fix this for under $20, which is fantastic.
The dream. That's the dream. Marlon, remind me which V6 did you say you had? It was 2.7 or 3.5?
It'll be all the same, so you can click on any of them.
Okay. All right, so we have selected the kind of car we have. You will see 3 different columns here. One says popular information, which is the different types of information that it'll give you. One says systems and components, and one is general information. So these are broken up into sort of the ways that you might approach the way you're thinking about, hey, something's wrong with my car. So for instance, if you're like, okay, I'm doing a repair on the struts in my trunk, I need to know what the diagram looks like. You can go in and click on diagrams. Or if you want to know, I know exactly what's wrong with my car, but I need to know what the replacement part is called. You can go to parts and labor. Or if you're like, I don't know anything, I just want to start at like the most general place and work my way down. Start with system and components. This is where I started because I'm, again, not a car person. So Marwan tells me the trunk can't stay up. My car actually has the same exact problem. So I will be poking around in here for my car as well. So the way that, depending on how much you know about your car, how comfortable you are articulating like what the problem is and where it is, it gives you different entry points. So let's say we're going to the body and frame. I think that's where the trunk would be considered, right? And we'll scroll down and just look at some of the components. Here, if you know the name of the term, you can type it in here. And then you see this little grid off to the side. We'll have different categories of what they can show you. So what is in the database. So there's R for repair, P&L for parts and labor, TSB is technical service bulletin. You can see they're listed off to the side, and then specs there on the end.
Oh, this is super detailed.
It's very detailed. It took me a while to figure out what it was saying. So when as a an information person, when I get to a page like this and it's very much outside of my wheelhouse, I will turn on my control F find in my mind and say, all right, I know the problem is with the trunk. So let's scroll and just you can type in trunk or we can just scroll here. I see doors, hood, and trunk. Awesome. Just going to click in there because I don't know if I need repair, parts and labor, or technical service bulletin. So again, it narrows it down a little bit. And so we'll go to the component. It's not with the door. It's not the front door. It's not the hood. We've got power trunk, and then we've got regular trunk. Marwan, do you know which kind you have?
Oh, well,
Go ahead.
It's got to be a regular trunk because a power trunk with lift, you know how they have the lift gate and you just kick it and it opens and closes by itself. So it's a regular trunk.
All right. So we're narrowing it down. All right. So we're in the trunk section and you can see there's quite a few pieces here. Lift gate, handle, hinge, interior trim panel, latch, lock cylinder. So this is where
support.
I said shock support.
I think that one's it. Yeah.
All right. And you can click into any of these, go back if it's not what you're looking for. So just, you can see the really nice thing is there's a little breadcrumb trail up at the underneath the section you're in where it tells you, okay, you started a vehicle. Now we're in body and frame. So you can always go back if you realize you're not in the right place. So we're going to look, there's 2 categories that are in this database here under the parts and labor section, and then under service and repair. So those are 2 different entry points, what piece do I need versus I have the piece, how do I do it? So let's just click into the first one and see what it can offer us. It tells you what the part is called, the part number, and the price. So this is manufacturer's price, I believe. So this is a place where, and again, I'm trying to translate this into car speak. If you were to get in touch with a manufacturer or a parts provider, say this is the exact piece I need, here is the part number, and here's the listing price, I know this will work with my car. So this is where you say, all right, this is what I need, write it down, head over to the auto repair shop, something like that. So let's go back.
Look at that. That is like 300% of the cost of what I got it for Amazon.
Yeah. You never know. As long as it's the right part. I hope it's the right part. And then let's say we go back and look at the service and repair section, removal and replacement. Let's see what we find here. So now we have a diagram and instructions, which I'm assuming come right from the manufacturer, that shows how to remove and replace it. So the diagram is numbered and those numbers correspond to steps down here. And then as you keep going, It'll show you something more specific. So that's removal and then installation.
And then number 2 is exactly it.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
that's what
cool.
we're replacing.
I am so glad to hear that. And this is also really cool because there's an option to like zoom and print. So say you're like, all right, I know exactly how I need to do this. Here are my instructions. Let me not go bring my laptop or my phone down to my car while I'm doing this because it's going to get gross and oily. Come down to the library and print this page off and then take it with you and get that piece of paper as dirty as it needs to be. So this is one way to sort of get some guidance as to what you need, how to remove the old one or fix the old one, replace and install a new one. From a complete beginner's perspective, it's also a way to sort of get the vocabulary in there. So I'm going to go back for a second just to doors, hood, and trunk. I think if you're a car driver, like you know what your doors are, you know what's the hood and you know what's the trunk, but more specific, like the internal parts of those, like I'll speak for myself. I'm a little like, I'm not quite sure what's what. So this is a great place for me to say like, hey, I know something is wrong with my trunk. Like it won't stay open. I don't really even know what the part that's broken is called. So let me at least just scroll down to trunk, click into each of these and just look at it and say, that might not be the part. Or even knowing the term lift gate. Like I haven't heard that term before looking this up. So, and so Marwan, you told me that after you'd also like watch like a YouTube video to help sort of get some guidance. That is a fantastic next step. And so I would say if you use this database, get some of the wording in there, sort of get a sense of like look at the diagrams and say, I think this is sort of the right track, but I really need to see it being done. There is no shame in going to YouTube and just typing in like Chrysler 300 trunk lift gate. I've already forgotten what the word lift gate shock, and just see what happens. There's a ton of really like experienced folks showing how to do this stuff on YouTube.
Wait, and I'll just add, like most people are calling them trunk shocks or struts. So I didn't see the word shock there too often. So that's just one thing to consider too, that it might be an interchangeable name.
For sure. And I think that's a really useful thing. This is the beauty of like starting a research journey that I find so lovely, which is like start at a complete beginner's space and slowly expand how like your base of knowledge about it. So now I know within my trunk, the thing that keeps holding it up is the lift gate that may or may not have a strut or a shock support inside. So look, we're learning new things.
It may or may not. It might not.
I would need to watch a few videos as well. But really good resource. I'm going to really quickly take us through the other database here, Chilton thing. So we're going to open it up in a new tab. This is the Chilton Library. Again, very detailed information, diagrams, repair procedures, things like that. It'll start the same way where you select the year and the make and the model. Beautiful. We'll hit select. Cool.
I'm glad you decided to go in here, Priya.
Yeah. It can be a little.
One might be a little bit more friendly.
That's exactly it. For instance, I'm a book person, so I love a good table of contents. So when I saw this one, I was like, oh, it's so well organized. But same categories really. So you see body, brakes, chassis, diagnostic. So it's alphabetical. You can search by a term if you already know what you're looking for. Or if you want to just poke around, you can click it into these little down arrows and it opens up a whole new thing. So there's body, again, a whole section for brakes. So if you're coming at this from a complete beginner's perspective, this is a great place to come in and click around and say like, okay, I know something's wrong with my brakes. I don't really know what. I heard the mechanic say the word caliper. What is that? And so you can sort of click in and just familiarize yourself with what some of the terms are. Because I think for a lot of beginners, that's the most intimidating thing, is not being able to talk about what you want to ask about. So I'm going to go in and just search for trunk. I'm assuming that's within the body. Cool. So you can see it opened it up and tells you exactly where it is. And there's a whole bunch of sections in the trunk here. So we don't want to go to carpet. We don't want to go to panel. I'm not sure what a welt is. So let's check that
Not
out.
me.
What's a welt? All right. So it says how to put one in and how to take one out. All right. This likely is not what you're asking about, but we're going to just explore something new. Okay. So there's actually an audio section as well. You can print it similar to AllData. You've got a little diagram here and then some steps. And it's actually got links within these steps to say like, oh, this might be more complicated and it relates to a different part. Go check out that other part first. So that is a useful tool here. I'm going to take out trunk real quick.
Wait, what's a welt? We got to know.
Whoa. That's a fantastic question, Marlon. All right. So it shows us where it is, how to put it in, and how to take it out. The sad thing, though, is that it's not quite like so beginner level that it'll be like, this is what this is. So that's where I will happily say, since we're finding it in the interior of the body, there's no shame in Googling also. So that would be my next step if I were a car person. If I were trying to repair my car, and I was like, my mechanic said welt, and I don't know what it is. Would go and just Google like Chrysler 300 welt define or something.
I think that's the word of the day.
Welt. It's a thing that exists apparently. But this is sort of, and I won't go too deep into this because we dug into AllData already. This is a very similar but just slightly differently designed database, which is very useful to have around. I would actually recommend just clicking through both of them if you know what it is that you're looking for. For in the interest of time, I won't go hunting for struts or shock support, but I will just show you that there is a wide variety of systems within your car represented. So for instance, if you're like, oh, I know that my AC is broken, but I don't quite know why, you can click into heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and just, go through and see what feels right. At the very least, click around enough until you think this might be what's wrong with my car, and then you'll have a way to express to your mechanic if you're not planning to do the repairs yourself.
Well, I'll tell you what, if your AC isn't working, it doesn't feel cool, right? I couldn't help it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there isn't a section of dad jokes about cars on these databases. But just to wrap up over here, because it's a very, very comprehensive database. Like there's a lot here. You can spend a whole different time. There's even a video library if you need to go in and just like watch something being done. Per your preference.
Well, see, I love this one, Priya, because it has the audio and it has videos, which I'm a visual learner. So if I can watch it done over and over again, that's helpful. Mm-hmm. So I love this one.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, it's just whatever resource works best for you and in combination with other things. So like if you are comfortable just using like Google and YouTube as your like how to do this tools, fantastic. Those factor in with this as well. Like use these databases that come from the manufacturer. That's the thing. Like the diagrams here, the part names, all that. Those are double, triple, quadruple checked by these databases, and so that the information is accurate. Start here, get a sense of what's wrong or what you need, what part you need to get, or even just what something is called, and then use that as a jumping off point for your next search, even if that's just going to YouTube and being like 2006 Chrysler 300, how to change struts. And I've done it too. I've done that for, I won't say my car because I'm nervous about doing my own car repair. My partner does it all the time though, so he will vouch for it. So feel free to click around. Another cool thing here, we were in the repair section. If you click into like maintenance, labor estimator, bulletins and recalls, put in the type of car that you have, and it'll basically just show you like all the updates. So everything you need to know to maintain your car after you have it, and if it's not in immediate need of repair, but you still want to check to make sure that you're keeping it up to date and keeping it maintained as best you can. So definitely come armed with the make, model, and year of your car. And then just keep an open mind because there's a lot of information here. It's definitely worth a dig around. I will also just remind y'all of the 2 databases. Chilton, I believe you can access from anywhere. Just come at it through our website. All data, you do need to be in the library or on our Wi-Fi to access it. So if you're having any difficulty accessing these databases, or you just need a little refresher, feel free to give us a call or stop in, or even send us a message through our Ask Us Tell Us, which is right up here by email or on our homepage. And we can happily walk you through it. And also let us know if it works out really well. If you use these databases to repair your car, incredible. I would love to hear your success story.
Well, we're going to try to have a success story right now. If you don't mind navigating back, and while you do that, to that diagram, just to show you on Amazon, if I wanted to buy the Purchase the Chilton book in paperback, it's $49.86. So $50 to buy the book, right?
Wow.
Then once you figure out what's wrong, you got to buy the parts. And I just wanted to show you my cart here. So this is me, I purchased the parts on December 21st and they came, like I said, $15.89. So hopefully I'm going to be able to make this repair for $16, right?
Wow.
2 cups of coffee at Starbucks, which is great. With 3 eggs.
That's really neat. I can't say I've done anything about it, but happy to help. Okay. So I will say I'm clicking. I just want to get the right page up before I share my screen again. I'm clicking around, and not being a subject expert, I will tell you that it's a little easier since you've confirmed that the right part that you have is the strut/support cylinder. I'm going to choose to use all data because we found that diagram. Yes.
Yep.
If I had a little bit more time and just some comfy time that not on camera to dig around, I would jump back to try to find the section that has this. But since we're here already, let's just use it. So we've got our support cylinder here. I'm going to skip down just to, you said this number 2 was the piece you have, right?
Yep. And that first diagram is how to actually change it out.
Okay. Are you working on it right now, or do you want me to share this?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to go right now. So I'm going to switch this over. I'm going to walk down to my vehicle, and I'm going to change it out.
Okay.
All right.
I guess I'll keep us occupied until then.
I'm headed down. You can still hear me, right?
I think so, yeah.
All right, perfect. So we're going to go on down. I told you this is the first library video of the year. It had to be an extra special video.
Yeah. I'll say also, Marwan, do you do a lot of car repair? Or maybe he can't hear me. Oh, I will say, speaking from not my own experience, but my partner's, it takes a while sometimes. So no pressure to get this done in the next 10 minutes. I know that these things can take a little longer. Oh, we are down there. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Marwan, do you want me to read this through?
Yes.
All right. So we have number 1, open and support the deck lid with a suitable prop or block. I assume that means just make sure your trunk is able to stay open while you're taking this thing out. Do you have something holding your trunk up?
I do.
Fantastic. Neat. Oh, good stuff. That works. All right. Okay. There is a warning here. I will read it out loud so that Marwan can't say I didn't if something goes wrong. To avoid personal injury or death during service, lift the ball socket and retaining clip only far enough to release the socket from the ball stud. Excessive prying or removal of the clip may result in improper clip spring tension. Improper clip tension may result in the support cylinder separating from the ball stud, causing sudden, unexpected loss of deck lid support. I am so glad you have your trunk propped open. Okay. Oh my gosh, he's so far ahead of me. Insert a small flat bladed tool into the notch on the outer face of one ball socket. Release the retaining clip. Repeat step 2 and 3. It looks like you got it out already.
Yep, I did.
Oh my gosh, you're so far ahead of me. Okay, I'll skip down to installation. Position the ball socket on the cylinder end of the support cylinder to the ball stud on the upper bracket of the deck lid hinge. Looks like we're working on that now.
Okay.
And then using hand pressure, press the ball socket onto the ball stud until the retainer clip snaps into place. Oh, he's there already.
Gotta lift that up there.
All right.
And this one's gotta turn a little bit. This one makes it a little bit more difficult.
Okay. Take your time.
So I'm just looking for the pry spot on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's kind of toward the back on this one.
Careful, Marwan.
Well, one of the things that they said is it's nice to have someone else with you.
Yeah, that's
This is gas loaded, and so it's not going to be a perfect fit
okay.
to get on, from the space between the trunk and the
Yeah.
body of the car
Okay.
until, you get it into place.
Yeah.
So I might actually, there we go. Boom.
You got it?
One side done. Yep.
All right.
Look, no hands. Let's do the other side here.
Fantastic.
That wasn't even 5 minutes, right?
I think it was a little less, yeah. I'll read the
let me come
last
over
couple.
here,
It looks like you've got the instructions down, but the very last steps after you're done with this side is just inspect to be certain that the retaining clip on each of the support cylinder ball sockets is fully seated. So just get in there and make sure that they are settled. And then remove the service proper block and close the lid. So keep on keeping on. You're doing great.
All right, so that is done.
Very nice.
This one.
Seeing you do this is basically the equivalent of the YouTube video that I would have to look up to fix the ones in my own car. So this is
time, I
good.
think I'm going to try the bottom one first,
Okay.
and maybe that might be easier. Still with me?
Yeah, I'm just watching you. You're looking masterful.
I might have slept at a Holiday Inn.
This looks great. So for the purposes of this demonstration, you already had the part ready to rock when we started talking today. That's great. The cool thing about this database is that if you don't have the part, it'll tell you what the part is and like how much it would cost from the manufacturer. And then you can go out and find it cheaper somewhere else. So make sure you give it a good, everything's settled, everything's solid. All right.
All right, let's see.
Hope it works. It closed.
I just
Awesome.
put my phone inside of my case there.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, look at that.
It stays open?
Yeah, look, no hands.
Ah!
I'll do it one more time. Look, it's closed. Gonna pop my trunk here. It popped. Go ahead and open it. One hand stays open.
Woo!
No problem. It's all done.
Incredible.
So I can go ahead and recycle these. And just to show Priya what I ended up
Hmm.
having to do, I'm just going to go and look at the camera here.
Yeah,
Here are the
sure.
little clips on the diagram.
Mm.
All you're going to do is just kind of fish this out a little bit, and it's going to
Hmm.
release, make it a little wider so it will slide off. So that's all I was
Mm.
doing there. I'm going to walk upstairs to the camera there.
Okay.
Give me just a second.
Yeah, sure. It is so cool to see this happen in live time.
Okay, I am back. Woo. All right, what do you think? Pretty cool?
So cool.
I can hear
I'm
you
really
now.
glad that worked because that would have been super embarrassing if it didn't.
Oh, have
No,
faith, have faith.
no, I'm so glad when you were telling me about this, you said you did a little bit of research ahead of time, and that's the way, like, love to see it. Where people think like, I have a problem, I don't even know where to start. Let me see what resources I have, dig deep into some good ones, and then go out and do the thing if you feel comfortable doing the thing. It's fantastic.
And to let you know, I've never changed my brakes. I've never changed my oil. I've changed the
Yeah.
tire, but that's about it. That was pretty easy, and I easily could have bought the part for $50, took it to an auto dealer, which a
Hmm.
30 minutes of time might have been at least $50. So this could have been at least $100 or more. And now
Yeah.
$16, it's done in less than 10 minutes. Took me longer to set the cameras up.
That's like such a very like encouraging story to hear because cars can be really intimidating. I'll say that as someone who is very intimidated by the car that I drive, but it's just lots of little pieces. And a lot of those little pieces are easily, replaced, fixed, tweaked, things like that. Especially ones that don't directly interfere with the actual driving function, like the trunk, like we can handle that, right?
Well, see, you could
Yeah.
surprise your partner, right? Like, hold my beer, watch this. What?
We'll be like, wow, the trunk stays open now. Incredible.
Yeah, no, change it in front, so they can see it. It's like, oh, that's impressive.
Ah,
Like,
yeah.
where'd you get
Well,
this skill from? The library.
from our databases. No, I'm so glad to see our resources being used like in live time for really like real world situations. So it's just really cool to get the word out. And hopefully some people will feel empowered to, either get into the car repair, car maintenance world, or just, better understand the thing they drive and pay for. So, yeah.
Well, my hope, one of the reasons I wanted to do this is one, like I definitely believe the library is so awesome.
Mhm.
It's one thing to kind of show people what you could do at the library. Like, oh, here's the
Mhm.
website and look at this database and that database. But to actually do it, I think is like, oh, I could do this. This wasn't bad. Okay.
Absolutely. And I just want to like reiterate one more time. This is one very specific example. Like we have car maintenance and repair databases. So if you have a car question where we can use the database, you can absolutely come ask us for help. Please do know your car make, model, and year if you do. But with our other databases as well, it's very similar where if you have a question, but maybe you don't quite know how to ask it, or you have a very general place to start, but like we hopefully will be able to help, please do come get in touch with your local branch, come in, see me, ask a question. Doesn't matter what it is, we will try to find an answer for you. These databases are fantastic and I wish more people knew about them. But similarly, every time I get to come on here and shed some light on a cool service or product that we have. So this is just the latest in that. Yeah.
Well, and I don't know how actual mechanics feel, but I wear a tie for a living, but my hands are clean. And because we came through COVID, you could put on, those gloves that we wore during COVID time, and that would keep your
Mhm.
hands clean. Depending on what you're doing, right? You don't want to get it pinched if you're in some tight spaces, but it's the trunk, it's the struts, pretty clean area,
Mhm.
easy peasy lemon squeezy. I love it.
Yeah, and if you do need to do some more involved repair or diagnose a problem that maybe is like under the hood, or if you are comfortable poking around in your engine, at least be informed when you do it. And these databases are a good place to start.
Well, this is
Yeah.
my first time. I don't know how we're going to top this pre. I mean, this is January, so we'll have to think of something for maybe March because I have no ideas for
Mhm.
February on how to top this. So we'll have to come up with something really cool.
We'll think on it. I just thinking ahead, I know that in February we usually have a really nice long book list that we curate just for Black History Month. So I would love to highlight that next month.
Awesome.
That'll be ready on our website, so that you can get some good reading, watching, listening done in the month of February. So an easy hands-off share for next month on our end. Yeah.
Well, you want to give us the final word?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Happy 2023, everyone. We're so glad to see you in our library spaces, both virtual and in person. This will be a good year, I hope. Come say hi. Let us know what you're learning, what you're reading, what you have in mind for your goals for this year, and we will help you accomplish them. Always, always, always happy to help. So please do come visit us, check out our website, grab an Inspire. I hope you all have a wonderful start of your year. Thanks.
All right. I love it. Well, it is the Kitsap Regional Library. They have extended hours. Definitely check out the website so you can see it. Man, there's so many cool things that are happening at the library, so many different resources, things you probably didn't even think about because I had no idea until Priya told us about it on the last show. So super awesome. And man, can't wait to see you next month. So, and hope maybe to bump into you at the library.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you
So
so
for
much.
Priyachari, I am Marwan Cameron. This is The Conduit. We will see you guys next time. Leave them with the trunk, right? I think that's the perfect image to leave off on. Hey, that's a pretty clean looking
Mhm.
trunk. Good job,
Let's go.
Marwan.